Have you ever paused and asked yourself, who am I? Is it your name, your birthplace, or your beliefs that define you? Or is it something deeper, something more elusive? In this episode, let's embark on a journey through the maze of identity, a path filled with names, places, beliefs, and values that shape us, that bind us, and sometimes limit us. But as we navigate, let's also question, are we truly defined by these labels, or is there something beyond them? I am Melky, your host, and welcome to this episode of Meaningful Conversations with Top Cause, where we reflect, question, and rediscover what it means to be human. Let me begin with a story. A small, seemingly insignificant one, but one that profoundly shaped how I see myself. My parents named me Melchizedek. A mouthful, right? Growing up, my name was more of a hurdle than a gift. It wasn't just about its length, it was about how it set me apart. Teachers mispronounced it, classmates shortened it, twisted it, turned it into something foreign. And every time I heard it mangled, it felt like a piece of my identity was being chipped away. Names carry weight, don't they? They are our first introduction to the world, a badge we wear proudly or perhaps reluctantly. Yet for me, my name became a source of anxiety. I found myself molding it to fit others' tongues, losing its essence and mine in the process. But then in 2017, I moved to Colombia. Immigration, the officer said, "Bienvenido a Colombia, Melchizedek." For the first time, someone pronounced it right. That moment wasn't just about a name. It was about being seen, accepted, without the need for explanations or adjustments. It was as if, for a fleeting second, I belonged. I belonged to my name. I had a sense of belonging to this country. I had a sense of belonging to my identity. Belonging is a curious thing. We often tie it to places, don't we? When I was asked in a different country, "Where are you from?" I would confidently reply, "India." But even that answer came with layers. When people would ask me, "Are you Hindu?" And suddenly my identity was reduced to a binary, as though one belief could encapsulate the entirety of my being. Growing up in Kurukshetra, a land steeped in the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita, I was raised in a Christian household, reading both books during my childhood, the Gita and the Bible. The Bible taught me faith, the power of prayer, and the beauty of resurrection. The Gita, on the other hand, introduced me to karma, the art of action without attachment, and the cycles of life. I found myself at a crossroads of two ancient paths, unable to fully embrace one without feeling like I was betraying the other. Was I Christian? Was I Hindu? Or was I something else entirely? It was like peeling an onion, layers upon layers, but no core to hold on to. This brings me to the Theseus paradox. You have probably heard it in another form, the ship of Theseus. If a ship replaces every single one of its parts, is it still the same ship? So what happened was, in Theseus paradox, Theseus was in a journey to kill Minotaur. And during his journey, he replaced each part of his ship. So when he returned, a question is, if a ship replaces every single one of its parts, is it still the same ship or a different ship? Now think of yourself. Every cell in your body replaces itself over time. Every belief, every value you hold today may shift tomorrow. Are you still the same person you were a decade ago? The answer isn't simple, is it? And maybe that's the beauty of it. Identity, like Theseus's ship, is not static. It evolves with every choice, every experience, every heartbreak, and every joy. It's not about holding on to a fixed idea of who you are, but about embracing the fluidity of your existence. I often think of Carl Sagan's words about the pale blue dot, that fragile speck suspended in the vast cosmic arena. Every name, every place, every belief we cling to exists on that tiny pale blue dot. It's humbling, isn't it? To realize that our identities, our beliefs, our nationalities, so often a source of division in this society, in our world. These are just fragments of something much larger. And so I leave you with a question. If I or you were to strip away your name, your place of origin, your beliefs, your nationality, what remains? Who are you at your core? Perhaps in shedding these layers, we'll find not emptiness, but interconnectedness. As the Upanishad beautifully says, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which means the world is one family. Let us think beyond these labels, the borders and the boundaries, and let's see each other not as fragments, but as a collective, the fabric of stories woven together on this pale blue dot. If this episode resonates with you, let's keep this conversation alive. Share your reflections, your stories, your questions. Let's explore together what it means to be human beyond the labels. Until next time, remember, you are more than your name, your place, or your beliefs. You are a part of something infinite.